You ever walk out of a store on a sunny Saturday, arms full of groceries, thinking only about your family and your weekend only, to find your life flipping inside out because of someone else's suspicion? Let me back up a sec. Picture this. Reuben Hayes, a well-respected judge, steps out of his local grocery store, balancing bags and his kid's favorite toy giraffe, minding his own business. He's the kind of man who's carried himself with quiet pride, working his way through law school, raising a family, fighting for justice in a city where the old scars of segregation never fully faded. You know what I mean? Now, Reuben's no stranger to stairs, but today, the weight is heavier. He feels eyes tracking him as he walks to his car. Officer Ted Morrison, sitting behind the wheel of his cruiser, sunglasses down, suspicion cranked up. Maybe Morrison's got a chip on his shoulder. Maybe he's just bored. But as far as Reuben can tell, he's just another black man in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hey, you. Stop. Morrison barks out. Not a question, more like a verdict. Reuben stops. He got experience, years of being told to move slowly, speak softly, do everything by the book, even when the book's never been fair. He keeps his tone calm, steady, just like his mama taught him. What's the problem, officer? But Morrison's not listening. Not really. He's running the script he's learned, one where black men are always a threat, and authority never needs to explain itself. He asks for ID, voice dry as sandpaper. This isn't about checking an ID. This is about power, about reminding Reuben he doesn't belong. Reuben could argue, but instead, he slowly, carefully shows his wallet, narrating every move, because hesitation gets you headlines in this country. My wallet, officer, he says. Morrison's hand hovers over his gun, just in case, like that giraffe toy might morph into something dangerous. He reads the ID, stumbles on the title, Judge Reuben Hayes. The air shifts. You can almost hear the gears grinding in Morrison's head as just try to hassle a judge, one whose decisions shape the very city he patrols. For a second, Morrison wavers, mask slipping. But old habits run deep. Just doing my job, he mutters, weakly, handing the ID back. On the sidewalk, a little girl tugs at her mother. Why is that man so mad at the judge, Mommy? And you realize this story's not just about two men, but everyone watching, recording, whispering, wondering if today is the day things will finally change. Morrison retreats, wounded ego in tow, leaving Reuben with a familiar ache. Is this all he'll ever be in their eyes? Still, he walks to his car, dignity intact, knowing he's just become another story. He tells his wife Claire at home, and she just shakes her head, so tired off the same fight replayed 1,000 ways. But here's where the twist comes in. That little encounter, that quick spark of injustice, someone caught it on their phone. Before Reuben even finishes his dinner, the videos circulating online blowing up. By the next morning, Marcus Grant, the legendary civil rights lawyer, calls. You're viral, brother. People want to rally. They want to change things for real. Now, Marcus is the kind of guy who turns anger into action, headlines into new laws. He invites Reuben to a meeting, lawyers, activists, politicians, all ready to ride the wave. They hatch a plan. Use Reuben's story to push for police accountability, force the city to open its books, bring in outside investigators, whatever it takes. But this isn't some cold, legal chess match. It's a battle fought in living rooms, on streets, in churches, ordinary folks stepping up, demanding that justice be more than a word on a building. Meanwhile, the city simmers. The news covers rallies outside City Hall. Claire and their daughter Naomi join, holding signs, chanting, hugging strangers who suddenly feel like family. The mayor calls a special hearing, asking Reuben to testify, wants him to look her and the council in the eye and explain, once and for all, why just doing my job isn't enough anymore. Inside the courthouse, you can feel history pressing in. Reporters crowd the hallways. Activists swap nervous glances, and Morrison sits at the defendant's table, no badge to hide behind now. Judge Mullins, sharp as winter wind, runs the trial. We're not just talking about one bad stop, the prosecutor says. We're talking about a system that allows this over and over. Reuben testifies steady, heartfelt, his story stretching from his childhood to the moment Morrison pulled him over. He talks about his father's lessons, his mother's fears, the nights he lay awake wondering if justice really ever changed anything. When Morrison finally speaks, he sounds hollow, sorry but not really changed, blaming protocol, hiding behind the word routine. But this time, the city's watching. The jury finds Morrison guilty of misconduct, small victory. Maybe, but it's a crack in the wall. Outside, the crowd erupts. Hugs, tears, relief, a moment where hope feels real. Rubin stands on the courthouse steps, cameras flashing, and speaks not just for himself, but for all the others who've walked this line before and after him. We're not just here for a verdict. We're here to remind this city that respect, dignity, and justice belong to everyone. But here's the thing, change doesn't happen in a day. The city is split. Some celebrate. Others stew, muttering about law and order, feeling threatened by new wins. Even in victory, there's backlash. Business owners grumble, old friends argue in diners, police unions push back, lines redrawn in every neighborhood. And yet, something's different. People talk. Council members push for reforms, body cams, civilian review boards, real oversight. Young lawyers like Jasmine from Rubin's team dig through old cases, ready to rewrite the rules. And quietly, even Morrison, disgraced and sidelined, starts to wonder if maybe, just maybe, he could be part of the solution. The story doesn't end on the courthouse steps. It spills into family dinners, late-night phone calls, playgrounds, and churches. Naomi climbs into Rubin's lap, asks if he's a hero now, and he just smiles, brushing a curl from her forehead. No, honey. The heroes are the ones who keep showing up, who don't quit, who use their voice even when it shakes. So here's where I leave it, right at the edge between hope and uncertainty. A city trying to grow past its pain, a family stronger for the struggle, a judge reminded that his work isn't just in the courtroom, but in every quiet choice to stand up, to tell the truth, to refuse to look away. And you watching this, where do you stand? When justice and comfort collide, what will you do? Drop your thoughts below. Does justice mean more than one verdict? Or is it about the fight we take up every day? Where does accountability begin and end in your eyes? Because, honestly, this story is still being written, and your voice matters more than you think.